Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Rime of the Frostmaiden, Part 1. Today is December 13th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point. But hey, guess what? This is basically like the pilot. There are no other episodes in this series, but we have a full playthrough of Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tomb of Annihilation, as well as an ongoing homebrew campaign. So if you're interested in following any more of what we have on this channel, again, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures, check it out there. Or if you are more of an audiocast inclined individual and you would rather carry us around in your pocket rather than watch on YouTube, hey, guess what? We are available anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, you can go to patreon.com/indooradventures to check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, you can feel free to drop your questions in the Twitch chat to the side, or you can join us on Discord. The link is found down below. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on Twitch, YouTube, Audiocast, everywhere else, and you're thinking to yourself, where can I go to help support the show more? I got your back. If you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, clocks, aprons, shower curtains, and most importantly, for the year 2020 and for the foreseeable future, we also have Tia masks. That is right. We have masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, done by our very own Cyberwolf1201. So if you would like to help support the show, feel free to go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, or if you want to help support a good cause, all of the proceeds that we get from the masks end up going to help support COVID-19 research through Doctors Without Borders. So again, if you want to help support the show or help support a good cause, indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my spiel, so we're going to go around with our introductions, character names, pronouns, that sort of thing. So let's start off with Satan. Who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Satan. I use she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Kuori Metalbreaker, who also uses she, they pronouns. They are an 8 foot tall, 100% real beef Goliath babe. Like, yeah, that's me.
And Liz, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Liz. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Lydia, who is a sweet bean rock gnome cleric. She also uses she, her pronouns.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Hart, the wood elf druid, who also uses he, him.
And hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener, also known as Wings. I'm going to be the DM for tonight. I use she, her pronouns, and let's just get right into it, shall we? We bow to she who wears the crown. Let the world shiver with dread. Clad in winter's whitest gown, her snow enshrouds the dead. Icewind Dale has become trapped in a perpetual winter. Ferocious blizzards make the mountain pass through the spine of the world exceedingly treacherous, and this land has not felt the warmth of the sun for over 2 years. In fact, the sun no longer appears above the mountains, not even at what should be the height of summer. In this frozen tundra, darkness and bitter cold reign as king and queen. Most Dale residents blame Auril the Frostmaiden, the god of winter's wrath. The shimmering aurora that weaves through the sky each night is said to be her doing, a potent spell that keeps the sun at bay. Dale folk live in a scattering of settlements known as 10 towns. The drop-off caravans coming from the south and travel between the settlements in this never-ending winter has left everyone feeling isolated. Although each town has resolved to appease the Frostmaiden with sacrifices of one kind or another, no respite from winter's fury seems forthcoming. For adventurers such as yourselves, 10 Towns is a place to test one's mettle. In the spirit of heroes who have come before, leave one's mark on this frigid, blighted land. We're going to start with snow, as we often will here in Icewind Dale. It is a blizzard. It is cold, and it is bitter. visibility is low, and the wind is deafening. Let's start with Kuori. Satan, as your character becomes silhouetted by the, oh god, I use this word a lot, atmospheric perspective. She comes stepping in out of the out of the fog, mounts up on top of a snowdrift, feet sinking deep into the crunching snow. What does Kuori look like?
Corey, once you see them, you see a very tall, Goliath. She's 8 feet tall, has pale gray skin, much paler than most Goliath. And her tattoos, instead of the usual black or natural brown, they're a frosty blue color. She has completely white eyes and hair that starts growing from her head as black and turns to white with uh, braids inside of it and shaved on one side. She is bundled up in her snow gear, furs, jackets to be protected from the weather. Even though she can take the cold, she rather not subject herself to the dangers of it.
Your traveling companion has briefly been obscured by the blowing snow. Um, and you turn around waiting for her, and for a moment it seems like you've lost her, and you're going to have to go trudging through back into the blizzard to try and find her. But after a few breathless moments, a much smaller figure comes trundling through the snow. And the snow is fairly soft since it has freshly fallen, so she's probably up to her shoulders in it, just kind of making a little trough behind her as she goes. Liz, what does Lydia look like?
So you see Lydia appear, head over the snow. She is a very pale, rosy-cheeked rock gnome. She's got a bob of hair that is almost black, but when you look at it, has hues of purple. And she's very bundled up in a jacket with a white fur lining, and it's clasped together with a raven's head symbol. She also has a string that hangs down with a little hand warmer made of white fur, but she's got her hands out with gloves trying to swim her way through the snow almost, as she only comes up to about Corey's hip. And she makes her way just head above the snow with a little bit of redness on her cheeks and nose, as it's getting quite windy and cold.
It is pretty clear that the two of you are going to need to seek shelter soon, as the storm doesn't seem to be letting up. And if you keep on going at this rate, you are going to get pretty badly lost. And the person that you came here looking for, there's been no sign of them.
Corey would then bend down, offer an arm. She's like, "Let me help."
Thank you.
Just boop, carries her
Oh, this is much better.
much. I don't think we'll find who we're looking for.
You're right. We should probably hunker down. I hope they're okay.
Bless, I love her.
Me too, but your parents would never let me live if I let something happen to you. Let's go.
Okay, you're so strong.
Duh.
Kuori, I'd like you to make me a survival check.
15?
That's precisely what you need.
Oh,
Yay, successful first roll.
First
Yay.
roll, well
First
done.
roll.
right on the die, right on the number.
Right.
Hey, that's what we need.
Exactly adequate. All right. So, Kuori, you cast your eyes across the landscape. You can only really see about 10 feet ahead of you. The snow is blowing so hard. And you know that if it weren't for your Goliath heritage, it would be affecting you terribly. You can feel the little gnome just shivering in your arms.
Like, put her in my jacket.
Stick her in there.
Yeah.
I just have my little
Just
head
her head.
popping out.
It's like when you put cats in your jacket and they just have their head popping out.
Zip it up.
You see a place, an outcropping, a hill that looks like it would be a good place for you to dig out a snow cave to hunker down. And as you're making your way over there, you see in your peripheral vision, there's a pair of antlers sticking up out of the snow. And you think to yourself, oh, excellent. We won't have to dig into our rations for dinner tonight. You can just drag that with you and you can have yourself thaw it out, have yourself a nice meal tonight in the snow cave.
Lydia,
Yes.
we're going to eat good tonight.
Excellent. I am very hungry, but it's very cold.
She reaches back and takes out a longbow.
Oh God.
Sure.
It's buried in the snow. It's probably already dead.
Oh,
At least it's well preserved.
yes, but that takes all the fun out of it.
Well,
Uh,
if you want fun, we can play checkers later. I brought my checkerboard.
Da.
Okay.
Kuori then is going to walk over with like Lydia still in her jacket and just kind of like with one hand grab like the antlers and just boop.
It is not what you're expecting. Stephen, would you like to describe your character?
Oh dear.
So
No, it's not a deer.
just like teeth chattering, like clothes all wet, from being covered in the snow. He's not wearing furs or anything like that. These are just a set of heavy linens that are now just, again, completely soaked, through all of this snow. Hart has, antlers on the top, growing out of the top of his head. As you have all become very well aware of now that you are pulling him up by his head.
Still holding him.
Just like, he has just a mess of dark brown, almost black hair. And then has very nice dark brown skin as well. But it looks like over the bridge of his nose, like there are what looks like snow bits that just aren't melting, but when you look at it, you realize that they are almost like freckles that are along the bridge of his nose. And he looks in like a very sweet uwu bean, except for this really wicked scar that goes from like the top of his forehead down almost to his cheekbone that looks like it got very precariously close to his right eye, which you can see is milked over.
This is not deer, this is baby.
Oh my, are you okay?
I
Are you
taste
hurt?
terrible.
Oh, we're not gonna eat you. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
It's so cold. Oh, cold.
Opens up her jacket, puts another bean in there.
Oh, hi. Hi. Here, and Lydia starts like rubbing his shoulders to try and warm him up.
Kuori's just like basically hugging herself to keep them both warm.
You see him pull up what looks like a small bag, and he reaches inside and pulls out a berry and just eats one. He has good berry. So just, and then like he offers you one of these berries, but like his hand is shaking. He's wearing fingerless gloves. Like this is he was poor planned going out into the winter.
Speaking of, Stephen, would you like to give me a con save?
Well, I'm dead. No, so a con save, that's an 18.
An 18. All right. You're doing okay so far. You've been able to like rub your hands together and hold yourself really close. But like a few more hours out here, you feel like it probably would have been getting pretty dire. It's a good thing that they showed up when they did.
Thank you
Yes.
for your help.
Of course. What is your name, small not dear?
And he's just like getting like nice and cozy inside this jacket. Just you can call me Hart.
Oh, that's so sweet. I will call you Hart. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Have you had water?
There's plenty of water around. It's just a little frozen at the moment.
That's no.
Food and drink, I got that covered, but do you guys have like a fire or anything to keep warm? I mean, getting bundled up this close is pretty nice, but
Just give me a moment. I'll help. I help. It's
if you
alright.
get the sticks together, I can light it for you.
I can too. And you see that Lydia like pokes her hand out of the jacket for just a moment to create a little flame in her hand and before extinguishing it out. And then reaching into her pocket and just, for now, just to help keep warm. And she hands over a little flask of brandy.
What's this?
It is brandy. It'll help keep you warm. Just a little bit though, not too much. Otherwise,
You'll freeze to death.
Kuori, don't tell him that.
He gets it to his lips and then just oh no, thank you.
Oh, he's real, baby.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's
Kuori
like it's
takes
stuck
it,
in my
takes a
mouth
big
now.
swig.
Which is hilarious because it's a gnome-sized flask, so it's very tiny. It's like one of
She
those
just-
little
yeah, she
airport
just like
nips.
here.
Thank you. It's empty now, and Lydia just puts it back in her bag.
Thanks. She will then start trying to make this ice like snow cave with these two small people inside her jacket.
All right. So you lumber and trundle through the snow, make your way over to that drift where the wind is hitting it just right. The snow won't be blowing into the cave when you make it. You turn the corner and are surprised to see that there is already a fire made and already a snow cave dug out. And kind of peering into there, you see a fella wearing like just bundled up in furs. And he just kind of like peeks out a little bit. And he's got a knit red cap on. He's like, this spot's taken. Yeah, never mind. Here, come on in.
Oh, hello.
I have berries.
Hello.
I had brandy.
GB, thank you so much for all the gift subs.
Woohoo!
How'd you...
That would be so many bongs.
Sorry, my brain went a different direction.
I know which direction your brain went.
This is full. I wonder if it'll...
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, ring the sub
Very
bell.
nice. Oh,
All right, fun. This guy kind of like looks you up and down, Kuori, and like the rest of the group is kind of totem poled out of your jacket. So it's just like a line of faces down your torso. And he like gives like a second glance.
Need to keep people warm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, come on in. I got a fire going. This thing storm doesn't look like it's gonna let up for a while, so come on.
thank
And
you so much.
you see him start to like scoop out some more snow and kind of make the cave a little bit bigger.
Core will help.
Yeah, like a snow plow. And the three of you are then
I just open my jacket.
dump them out onto the ice. And the four of you are able to huddle around the fire. And the guy says, "Oh, hey there. My name's Gustavson, but all my friends just call me Goose."
Hi, Goose. I'm Lydia. It's nice to meet you, despite the circumstances. It's really not a good storm out there.
Y'all from around here? I know you are. And he kind of points over at Kuori.
Oh, yes. I'm from nearby. I know Corey quite well. This one's new though. And she points at Hart.
He's baby.
I'm from the Glen.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's okay. Not many people have.
Corey will take out, she'll take off her jacket and then just kind of like bundle it around Hart.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a
Put
little
like the hood up,
burrito.
or like, yeah, it's like I'll tie like the arms together, like not even putting the sleeves, your arms in the sleeves, just tie the sleeves together so it stays like tight, and just
Great.
throw on the hood. Yeah.
It's like all fuzzy around the lining, so
Yeah.
that it like, and his little antlers just sticking up out of him.
Yeah. That
So,
should keep you warm.
Yeah, y'all from somewhere around here. I was just on my way up to Brinshander.
Lydia just kind of pauses for a moment and looks up at Corey as to whether or not they should share this information, but tries to just keep smiling.
I'm from Lonelywood.
I see.
Points to the direction Lonelywood is. I don't know.
We're far away from home.
Nah. Straight answer.
You from Lonelywood too, little guy? Little gal? Sorry, sometimes it's hard to tell in the, coats and stuff.
That's okay. I understand. Gal was correct, but thank you for clarifying. I'm from Tourmaline, which is near Lonelywood.
Oh yeah, that checks out. If anybody asks, I'm from Waterdeep, alright?
Who would ask?
Oh,
Where's Waterdeep?
Oh dear.
it's a...
No, he's not a deer.
Nope.
It's a... God, this is gonna be a thing with you guys, isn't it?
It behooves me to make a lot of puns.
Waterdeep is pretty far south from here. Hart?
If you're not from Waterdeep, where are you from?
Oh, well, I was born up in Brinshander, but, when I was young, I went down south, checked out Luskin, wasn't my cup of tea, and then I kept on going. I spent a good while in Waterdeep for a while. I taught him a thing or two about fishing. But there's something about the Dale. Just kind of calls you back, you know?
The inescapable tundra.
It's a mite more inescapable now since all of this Ice Maiden business.
Well, you know what they say. Home is where the heart is. Wait. I guess home is here.
And
His
Hart's
heart is
like
here.
pointing at himself, like,
That's real cute.
you're free to stay.
Corey just looks at him like all like serious face and goes, "Heh."
I appreciate it, kid. He reaches into his pack and he starts passing out some salted knucklehead trout jerky. And he seems to be fully willing to share with you guys. He's like, well, looks like we're going to be here for a few hours.
Thank you.
As Lydia is munching on the jerky, she's just gonna give sort of a once over to Goose. Is he super well equipped? Does he have weapons on him by any chance?
None that you can see. He has snowshoes and some very heavy, like winter gear and such. You can see that he's got some like fishing and trapping tools on him. But this guy doesn't strike you as a warrior of any sort. He like it's hard to tell under all of the furs and coats and such, but he's a little bit tubby. He's kind of soft in general. He's tough in the sense that he can tough it out and survive in a harsh landscape, but like he probably couldn't really hold his own in a fight very well.
Mm.
And you know, the old back just gets kind of cricky when you curved over an ice hole all day.
Yeah, you really got to watch out for those ice holes. But are you heading back home? Which way are you headed?
I was gonna head on back to Brinchander. It's probably the best place for all of you to go if you're looking to make your way back to civilization anytime soon.
Civilization would be nice.
DM, who did we come out here to find?
You came out here to find Lydia's brother. You had received some rumors that he was going to be around this area, and you've been searching for a few hours to a few days, and there is just no sign of him down here.
Maybe someone will have some answers for us, Kuori.
Yeah, it's possible.
Excuse me, Mr. Goose. You haven't happened to see another rock gnome anywhere nearby, right?
Can't say I have.
Do I believe him?
Give me an insight check.
Oh. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, my first roll. Which die do I want to use? I'll go with my frosty one. That's 14 total.
He seems truthful.
Koss, thank you for all the gift subs.
Woohoo! Oh,
Make the noise. We must make the noise. Yay!
Yay!
This is going to force me to stay hydrated. I'm going to have to keep this by me all the time.
Kuori's gonna look at Hart. Have you seen another rock gnome?
DM, have I seen another rock gnome, or was I just trapped in a snowdrift for a hot second?
Give me a retroactive perception check at disadvantage.
Cool. Perception. Wow, disadvantage.
They look like
good.
rock gnome, about this height.
11.
11. You were focusing on not freezing to death. And so
I wasn't very successful at that one either, but
anything as
Still
small
alive.
as Lydia would have escaped your notice.
no.
You did, however, see a bunch of dogs, and they frightened you quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't like dogs. Not a huge fan.
What about
Does your brother
puppies?
control dogs? Is he like a pack master?
No, not really.
Maybe the dogs knew where he went. Well, puppies, they're just dogs waiting to get mean.
Dogs are good. Lydia, your brother might be in Brinchander.
Yeah, maybe someone there will know. I don't think he'd stay out here too long. It's very cold and there's not much to do, and he gets bored very easily.
There's not much to do other than die.
True, but we can maybe hope that's not what happened, okay?
Oh no, no, he's not saying that he's dead. No.
Okay, good.
Pats Lydia's head in the I'm sorry way.
Lydia is very comforted by this.
She's patted down into the snow a little bit. Amazing. Well, if y'all are gonna head up to Bryn Shander, I reckon you don't have too much to worry about so long as you're official citizens of Tourmaline and Lonely Wood. But you, little guy, and he kind of points at Hart. If anybody asks you to join anything called a lottery, you tell them you're not from around there.
What's a lottery?
Oh, he's a real baby.
Oh, it's a lot to explain.
People sacrifice things to the frost. I was gonna say the Iron Maiden.
The Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I listen to Iron Maiden, baby.
Yeah. People sacrifice things to the Frostmaiden,
Oh.
but Enchanter sacrifices people.
Oh.
You enter the lottery to see who gets sacrificed.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Don't enter the lottery.
All right.
Now,
will
see,
do.
that's why I'm from Waterdeep.
Right. If anyone asks, you're from Waterdeep. I
Yeah.
remember now.
Every gamble in Icewind Dale is a losing one. And I've drawn the short straw enough times to know you don't throw your name in the hat.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a short straw. It's still a straw.
It's the straw that gets you killed, and it's a bad one.
That's fair.
Straws can kill people. Got it.
This guy's got a lot to learn, it looks like.
Oh dear.
Yes, we found them covered in snow, soaking wet.
And he's
It was
still
like naked.
incredibly damp.
It was like naked baby out in snow.
He is pretty close to naked. I gotta say that he's gonna have to get himself a better coat if he's gonna be out here.
Lydia takes her hand warmer and hands it to Hart and
Blouse.
gives it to him to put. It's all like white fur that blends in well with the snow, but it does look very sort of poofy with his hands.
You might have to get naked and get warm first.
He just kind of shrugs and nods and just starts going for it. Like, no, that makes sense.
Wow,
But,
that
like,
sure is something.
he like puts his clothes next to the fire as best he can. He has a quarter staff, so like he just props that up in the snow
Is
and
that
hangs
what they're
his
calling
Is
stuff.
that what the? Oh. Lydia turns again, rosy cheeked, and just sort of turns away.
Yeah, there's no bodily shame.
Goose finds something else to look at for a while.
If
Corey's
it helps,
just
he's
staring at the
toned.
fire.
Oh no. Anyway, I'm gonna hunker down for the night. If you guys want to travel with me tomorrow, I wouldn't mind the company. It's safer to go in numbers, don't you know?
It'll be better to travel together.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goose. Corey, could I talk to you for a second? Just 1 second, just to.
Duh.
Lydia sort
He
of
just
pulls
gets
her
up and goes.
and sort of motions for Corey to bend down.
She like kneels down.
Okay, so I think Mr. Goose, very nice gentleman. I think Hart, very naked gentleman.
But if he leaves the wet clothes on, he'll get pneumonia.
No,
He'll get hypothermia.
No, I know. I know, but I'm just saying maybe it would be wise, just given the fact that we're out in the wilderness, that you and I sleep in shifts, just in case. I'm not super tired right now, anyways, so I can take first watch if you want, just to be safe.
Duh.
Okay. Lydia marches back and sits across the fire from Hart, just so that the fire is obscuring slightly.
There's a tasteful amount of shadow being cast over him.
Yeah. Corey would have let him keep the jacket and put it around him, so he's not like naked. It's just the wet clothes are bad.
And
Of course,
like
dry them out by the fire.
What is Kuori's clothes like underneath her jacket?
Um, she surprisingly has she would have taken off her weapons to get her jacket to Hart. So there's did I give her a great sword or there is a long sword that's almost like stuck in the snow next to her, and a longbow and a crossbow there. Like she's just the one that keeps getting out weapons. There's the shield that she puts down, and then they give the jacket back to Hart, and they actually have armor. Um,
Is it
under
a is it a long sleeve situation or a short sleeve situation?
Um, I would say she has chainmail. So it is a chainmail shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But underneath she has you see popping from the chainmail like a little collar of fur. So the metal doesn't actually touch her skin, but she has almost like a tank top of cloth on top of it as well, to kind of keep it as quiet as she can. But it's all very much leathers and fur still, and thick woolen shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And then her trousers are thick enough to withstand the weather. But she has a lot of bags.
Mm.
Um, she a lot of like almost like a
Cargo pants?
no, no, not cargo pants.
Plenty
She's
of
just wearing
pockets.
Plenty
khakis?
of, listen, I have cargo pants. I had 6 pockets at once. Let me tell you, that was amazing.
But like, regardless of
Yeah.
the exposure that
Mhm.
Kuori has to the elements, she shows no like she doesn't seem to be affected by the
She
cold at
doesn't
all.
seem no, she doesn't seem bothered at all. Even where there are parts that the cold metal does touch her skin, she doesn't mind. She's not shying away from it. And she actually takes out as she's settling down, she takes out a journal and starts writing some things in it.
All right. Um, so I think the two of you are going to start taking some watches. I'd like a perception check just from each of you.
Uh,
At disadvantage if you're focusing on things outside of the cave.
even if we have dark vision?
Yes, because dark vision doesn't help you in the snow, baby.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
I rolled a 22, but at disadvantage, I roll a natural 1 for a 4.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's
Please
see.
do better than me.
It's not much better. 7.
We are
All right.
so prepared.
So whilst the like the two of you take your watches and such, and I think that you're focusing on Goose. This is going to be some like out of character knowledge. We see a enormous figure trundling through the blizzard, and it seems to have a large amount of furs hanging off of it, or it has fur, and it just has an enormous shaggy head, and it wanders on top of the drift where your snow cave is, and looks around. And then it walks down the hill a little bit and picks something up out of the snow and then wanders away.
I'd like to think that the way Kuori and Lydia take their watches, like Kuori is sitting cross-legged against the cave wall, and Lydia's like in like the little like circle where that her cross legs make. So one of them's awake and then the other one's asleep. So, and they just switch off.
Yeah, Lydia takes. She unclasps her outer fur coat. And she lays it down so she's got sort of like somewhere to sit and like drapes it over Corey's leg, to utilize as a pillow when she does fall asleep. And you can see she's wearing leather armor, and it's almost like if you look at it, it's almost bedazzled with snowflake like gems,
I love
all throughout, and it's clasp on the one of the clasps of the armor. You can see dangling just a small almost clear glass ornament that has what looks like snow inside and little snowflakes. And she just is sort of trying to pay as much attention as she can as Kuori is snoring behind her.
Meanwhile, whilst the two of you are taking these watches, unaware of the creature lurking above, Hart, you are dreaming. You find yourself walking through a verdant green forest. There are fresh smells of grass and leaves, and the forest floor is dappled with sunlight. And as you are walking through this forest on four legs, you suddenly smell something very alarming, which is a sharp iron-like scent. And you look around, seeking any sort of danger, and you see through the leaves something strange, something shaped like nothing you've ever seen before. It's very vertical. And while every instinct tells you to either stay where you are or run, you are drawn towards it. And you push your way through the bushes, and you see something hanging from a tree branch. It is a humanoid shape, upside down, tied at the feet. And as you look at the face, there is nothing to see there. It's as it, I don't think you would have the words to describe this, but it looks as though it's been coated with red wax, and it just from the neck down. So because it's upside down, just the entire head is this red spot with very soft features. And as you're kind of looking at this and trying to determine what it means, you are awakened by the sound of people stirring around you as morning has come and the blizzard has passed.
Good morning, everyone. And
You just it's okay.
I was going to say Lydia has taken some of her rations that she has and warmed them up. It's like a stew almost that she's concocted using some of the nearby snow as the water base for it, and has poured it out into little bowls that she hands out that are made of like almost whalebone. They're far too nice to have brought on a trip, but she hands out the bowls regardless.
It's scrimshaw.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bone and such that's been carved ornately. It is one of the most common exports of Icewind Dale. And Goose seems to be just real chuffed about that. He's all like, oh, well, I mean, I guess you gotta use it sometime, right?
Oh yes, only the best.
Yeah, I used to bring a bunch of this down south with me over to Waterdeep whenever I was doing trading runs. That was good times. Weather's a bit too rough nowadays, though. And he just kind of like looks sadly out across the snow. The sun has laid low over the mountains. So while it is there and while it does give light, the majority of its heat is blocked. Whenever there is sunlight in Icewind Dale, it is always dim light, and it is only for about 8 hours of the day. And he just kind of looks across the landscape, like pontificating to himself, and he just like shrugs and says, "Oh well, the road should be over this way. We should get going."
Does the snow look the same height as it was the day before?
Oh, it's much higher for sure. Every once in a while, you guys would have to like kick some snow to make
Hmm.
sure you didn't get buried into your cave. But it was a really good spot actually because the snow did just kind of blow right over that hill.
I think without a word, Corey will just offer her arm to Lydia again and pick
Lydia
her up.
hops up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that Corey would have snowshoes. That just makes sense to me. Um,
Yeah, she'll have snowshoes.
it stands to reason for me just from like what Lydia's occupation was. She probably wouldn't have snowshoes as she would stay in towns most often, and like the roads are usually pretty well maintained. Um, so I'll say that Kuori has snowshoes. Lydia does not, but she does have winter gear. And then poor Hart is here left without snowshoes and without winter gear, and just very, very small feet that sink very easily into the snow.
Uh, Corey would let him keep her jacket. The cold doesn't seem to bother her that much.
Oh, you best believe, like, you gave it to him once. He honestly wasn't planning on giving it back unless you asked for it. So just like
Yeah.
wraps himself, like clothes himself again. Big ol' coat,
And
quarterstaff. Yeah, and now he has like his hand warmers as well. Like he has a big smile on his face. Just, this is really nice, thank you.
you're welcome.
Duh. She will she's like, do you need me to carry you too?
No, I've traveled in the snow before. I know how to get through there.
They just give him a long look. Eh. Let's
Well,
go.
Corey, if you walk in front of Hart and then just he can utilize the path that you make, since it's easy for you with your snowshoes.
All right.
Step into your footsteps. That makes sense. Um,
Every once in a while, Lydia will just like peek over Corey's shoulder just to make sure that Hart's still directly behind them.
He falters quite a few times. Like it's like hop hop.
oh
And
no!
then, like, continues to go, but like he's used to traveling outside. He's done this quite a few times. He's pretty nimble. But, it's very deep snow and sometimes you just misstep.
Um,
I think eventually Corey will take out some rope from her bag, tie it to her waist, and give the other end to Hart.
and when we stop to do this exchange, Lydia takes a little another little ornament that's similar to the glass one that she has on her armor, but this one's made up of two little bells, and she hangs it from one of Hart's antlers, just in case you get lost. Then we can hear you.
He like tilts his head up to look at what you've tied onto the antlers and they jingle and he's like trying really hard.
They keep on jingling as he's moving his head to look at them.
But then
Lydia-
eventually he realizes that he can't look at his own antlers. So then he just
Lydia-
looks back with a big smile.
Lydia leans into Corey and says, "It's very likely that we will lose him. This will save us lots of time."
But I gave him rope.
Well, both good ideas.
She'll take the other end of the rope and just tie it around Hart.
Yeah, because you could see, like, when you gave him the rope, like, he has a belt, and rather than, like, tie it off, he just kind of, like, stuffed it into the belt. So it's just, like, loose on one side. Like, if you pulled it, it would just come right out.
Would you say
Lydia-
that Hart is at the end of his rope?
Oh, yeah.
More like Corey's at the end of her rope. Corey's just gonna tie it off around his waist. Don't get lost.
Oh my gosh, we're those parents at the mall with their kids on a leash.
Hart is definitely a leash child.
So you all begin to travel up the road on your way to Bryn Shander. And it is, if you've ever been in a large snowy field, it feels very quiet as the snow tends to sort of muffle all sounds except for your feet crunching through the snow. And as you go, Goose seems right at home in all of this. And he eventually will just kind of slow down and say, I hope you don't mind me asking. This is, it's quite far from any of the 10 towns. Like, not even Dugan's Hole is pretty far away from here. What exactly are you doing down here?
Oh, see, I'm looking for my older brother. I think he's found himself in a spot of trouble. I haven't heard from him in a while, so just, trying to see where he is. That's why I asked you if you'd seen another rock gnome. That's what we're looking for.
I see what you mean. Well, I have no idea why he would come down here. There's nothing out here. Unless he was trying to get to Luskin.
Maybe. I heard word that he was in the area, and I really need to find him. It's very important that I find him.
Well, I know a few people in Bryn Shander. What's this guy's name?
Oh, well, it would be Lucas. Lucas
Alright.
Malia?
Alright, never heard of him, but I'll keep a lookout for him.
Oh, it's Lucas with a K, if that helps. Lukas. Lucas.
Ah, gotcha.
Does that help?
It sure does. It'll help narrow things down, I'm sure.
Kuori looks at him like, yes, say yes. Not to break her heart.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like Corey's like over Lydia's shoulder, just like, say yes. And he just looking at her like, yes. As you guys continue to travel, you eventually crest over a hill, and you see down in the dip of this particular road that there is a small crowd of people. It seems to be that they are taking a rest as they have 3 sleds, all pulled by teams of dogs, who are all just kind of like lounging about in the snow and kind of like playing with each other and eating whatever slop the drivers are giving to them. And he's gonna kind of, Goose is gonna kind of like stiffen up a little bit, and he's like, oh, these guys.
Puppies!
Who are they?
There's like a jingling noise, and it's Hart just shaking his head in the back, just
Disapproving jingling. These here are the Torgs. Hey, why exactly was your brother out here again?
I actually don't know all the details. He gets bored easily and likes to go on adventures, and sometimes those adventures are at taverns or with ladies or at taverns.
He's a man-child.
I see. So you might say that he gets himself into a spot of trouble here and there.
Just a spot or 2 or 3.
5.
Yeah.
He's really great underneath it all.
Well, Turga Icevane and her, I don't think I'd call them thugs, at least not to their faces. They sell things that they may not necessarily have owned. And they do a spot of bounty hunting on the side.
I see.
So, if I were to guess, they're probably here for the same reason you are. He just kind of starts making his way down the hill.
Oh, I hope he's not in that. Well, yeah.
Oh, I
maybe
guess
I
it
know.
gives Lydia like a...
Okay, you're right. maybe you're right. Should we
That's
go and try and talk to them?
He just kind of like stops halfway down the hill, turns around and says, something that you'll learn. As tough as people get out here, it's better to be amongst others out in the snow. You don't want to find yourself alone in the middle of a blizzard. I'll tell you that.
Are you suggesting we join them?
Hey, the more the merrier, eh?
Oh, well, maybe they'll have information. Maybe they'll have good stories. Maybe they'll have good intentions.
Or he just gives Lydia another look.
I'm sure they'll have intentions, for sure.
Anyone who commands that many dogs can't have good intentions.
You do see a flag hanging off of the biggest sled, and it is just a black flag with a golden wolf paw on it.
Don't tell them he's your brother.
Hey, I am looking for a friend. That's not a lie either, because he is my friend.
You are precious.
Thank you. Okay, let's go.
Keeps walking down the hill, forgets Hart is attached to her, and just keeps going.
Hart's over there being like, I hope we don't have to actually get near those. Pulled at the waist. Falters a little bit, trudges through the snow, but you're just going, and he's just getting pulled through the drift.
Feet go up, so try and provide some.
Bless. I love you.
She doesn't even notice the extra weight.
Goose kind of walks up to a dwarven lady, and he says, Torga, you old she-hag. And she says, Goose, you pile of moose shit, what are you doing here? And the two of them converse for a little bit. It seems they have kind of a tense camaraderie, where they trade insults as much as they do anything else. But he talks with her for a little bit and like works out a deal where all of you will travel together in order to keep you safe. At least to Bryn Shander.
Torga, yes.
Yeah, my name's Torga. What do you need? You looking to buy something? You looking for a job?
No. Have you seen another Raknum? Looks like her out here.
Lydia just waves.
No, have you? She just kind of like looks appraisingly at Lydia.
No, we haven't. That's actually why we asked. See, he's my friend. And we just really want to find him. He got some presents at home. And we just want to tell him that he should go home.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are looking for that little shit. Oh no, she's appalled. Yeah, I've decided I don't think I'm gonna find him. He's not really worth it anymore.
What's the price on his head?
125 gold.
Not bad.
That's just on his head. What about the rest of his persons?
It's just 125 for him, Lydia.
Oh, okay.
Once you get the head, the rest of it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Puts her hand on Lydia's head to cover her ears.
You just see Lydia start to panic just a little bit, but try to keep smiling so it looks a little terrifying.
Shh, it's It's all right.
Torga has like snapped a bone in half and she's kind of picking her teeth with it, and then she just sort of throws it to the dogs and they're like
Hart just like recoils, seeing all
Hair
these-
jingling.
Oh yeah, no. There is like the rope that you are attached to goes taut as he's like trying to get away.
oh, baby.
He looks down, he's like just like grabbing at the rope. He doesn't know how to untie it.
Kuori just looks to him, like looks behind her and just looks to him and just says, "Stay, Frankie."
Those are some funny sounding dogs.
Yeah, they grew up around cats. It's fine. Were you told that he was out here?
The cat is being acquired.
The cat is being
Thank you.
acquired. This one's 150 gold.
Oh, expensive cat.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, she'll ask.
Yeah, that's what we were told too. I think you must have followed the same rumor, but I think that was wrong.
Oh, well, what do you think? You seem very intelligent, very smart, not at all scary.
I think he's probably already dead. Regardless, doesn't really matter. Dead or alive, he's not anywhere out here. If he was, my dogs would have been able to sniff him out.
What do you think he might be then?
Don't know, don't care.
Lydia just kind of like sadly nuzzles into Kuori's arm.
She'll like give like with the arm around her. She'll like give her like a comforting squeeze.
Is
And she'll
comforted.
She'll look to Leah, turn her head, and just in a quiet voice, "We'll find him. It's okay."
Torga will put a hand to her face and give a loud whistle, and the whole crew seems to get up and start packing all their things and hitching up the dogs. And she says, "If you guys want to follow us, that's fine, but you're not going to be able to keep up." And she hops onto her sled and she, like throws down some goggles and she says, "Let's ride." Bork, 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 bork.
She's cool, but she's a bitch.
Well, I maybe wouldn't go that harsh, but she wasn't as nice as she could have been. Oh.
As these men are packing up their things, Kuori, you look up and you see a fella is kind of giving you an eye. He's just sort of staring at you from across the camp. And the first thing that you'll really notice about him is that he's got these really piercing blue eyes. And then the second thing that you notice about him is that he is not dressed for the weather at all. He's got like like bare arms. He's got a fur cloak over him, but like he doesn't like hold it to him to like contain the warmth at all. He just kind of like throws it over his shoulder like a cape. And he is just kind of looking at you. But when you look at him, he holds your gaze long enough to be like, "Yeah, I was staring at you. Like, what of it?" And then like the whistle comes and he stands up and starts helping to pack.
Does he look like he's bothered by the temperature, or that it doesn't affect him at all?
It doesn't affect him at all, it seems.
The cold never bothered him anyways.
She said it, folks! She said it! We did it!
We did it! The game's over. She won.
Wait, let's see. Let's get time. How long did it take?
An
An
hour
hour
and 14.
50 minutes.
An hour and 15 minutes. That's all it took. The game's over.
You know what, guys? I was holding it in for so long, but I just decided I had to let it go.
Oh God.
Curses.
Okay, so we're gonna be looking for a new cast member soon. So please submit your application to the Discord.
I hold your life in my hands.
Look, if we get RJ in on
Renoma's
this.
so small I can bury her in the snow.
Here.
Oh dear. Amazing.
Love you too, Levi.
Uh, does he look human? What is he?
He looks human, but he also doesn't really look like he's from around here. He's got dark hair, pulled back into a ponytail. It's a little bit curly, and there's a few white streaks at the temples and kind of up through the hair as well. Um, he he carries himself like he's the muscle, but he's dressed like a sailor. And like you are very far from any sort of like sailing vessels.
Kuori will just walk up to him.
He's packing a crate as you do.
Looks down.
He glances at you and gives you kind of like a nod, like, "What's up?"
Where are you from?
He like shuts a crate and he says, "Who's asking?"
Me.
Doesn't really matter where I'm from.
I
Those
still
aren't the kind of
ask.
question. How long have you been into Icewind Dale? Those aren't the sort of questions that you ask around here.
I didn't ask you how long you've been in Iceland, I asked you where you're from.
Where I'm from doesn't really matter anymore. People come to Icewind Dale to get away from wherever they were before.
You cold?
He looks you up and down, and then he just kind of smiles, and he says, "Are you?"
No.
Some of us are just lucky that way, I guess.
Lucky is a word for it. What's your name?
Sefik.
Kuori.
Nice to meet you.
You too. She kind of looks and like, kind of like, can I get like an insight check? Can I can I get a feel of like why he was looking at me?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thinks you're cute. He would like to ask on date.
19 plus 1 for 20.
You get the idea that he had recognized that your coat is on Hart, so you are wearing less like warm clothes than you normally would be, and it is not affecting you at all. And you happen to notice that that seems to be the case for him as well.
Humans usually get pretty cold out here.
Usually.
God, what
When
did you
you're
say? What did you
when
say his
you're
name was again?
Sefik.
Sefik.
Yeah, and I think he will even go so far as to say his last name as well. It's Sefik Keltro. In fact, I can give you the spelling for that as well.
That'd be great. I'm gonna actually, if y'all don't mind, type it in our Sefik Caltro. Caltrow.
It is spelled with a K, if that helps.
Oh, is Suffolk also spelled with a K?
Yes. There's a lot of K's going on.
Oh, listen, you should never let the dyslexic one try to type out names.
Fair enough.
Okay, Suffolk Caltro.
Yeah, we do usually get pretty cold, but when you've been blessed by the Frostmaiden, it comes with a few perks.
You're blessed.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm not sure if you
Forgets
know
she's
this.
holding up Lydia.
I didn't want to interrupt. There was some interesting vibes going on, so I just wanted to, let that happen. Did you say you were blessed by the Frost Maiden? Is that really?
Well, yeah. I was born on midwinter.
Cool.
Looks away.
Kuori, he's blessed. That's pretty cool. Well, actually, it means he's pretty warm.
It's
Anyways,
still cold.
yeah.
It doesn't make us any warmer.
Of course.
And when he says us, he does look pointedly at Kuori.
I'm just gonna go back to, and all she does is literally just kind of like sit back down and look away and look over at Hart and just do this thing where she's like, okay,
Hart just like catches your eyes and just like waves.
Not getting it at all.
No.
Anyway, my group seems to be getting away from me, so I should probably be going.
I'll see you around, Suffolk.
Yeah. And he like packs up a little bit and he says, maybe on our birthday I can get you a drink.
All right.
And like a dog sled slides up to him and he hops on it next to the guy that's driving it, and the two of them.
As soon as they're out of view, Lydia turns around and starts patting on Kuori's shoulder. He wants to buy you a drink. Do you know what that means? That means he likes you. He likes you. He wants to buy you a drink on your birthday. On your birthday. That's amazing. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing, Hart? That's amazing. You too.
Why wouldn't he buy her a drink if she was thirsty in general? That just seems rude, like not to do that.
Well, when one blessed by the Frost Maiden person likes another blessed by the Frost Maiden person, they buy each other a beverage, and then magic.
You're a wizard?
Well,
No,
How does the magic happen?
it's okay. Just it's okay. Anyways, we should probably get going. If we are going to be following them.
Goose is like already up the hill and he says, "You guys gotta catch up!"
Kuori just starts taking big steps, dragging Hart along.
Hart literally has to jump like both feet into each step.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
All right.
He's like using his quarterstaff to like vault himself forward.
You guys have to travel for several more hours, probably even a few days. I haven't decided exactly how far out you guys are from Bryn Shander, but travel speeds are very slow in Icewind Dale compared to normally. I can give you the exact numbers for that later. But a nebulous amount of time later, you all travel together. And eventually come to a place where you can see a large city at the top of a hill with palisades for walls. And it's probably getting close to sundown, so 2 p.m. And there is... it seems that there's a little bit of a traffic jam going on as they are getting ready to close the gates. So you guys have to kind of rush your way over. But you see this city with tall walls, and it is just bustling. You can see that there is smoke rising in various places from chimneys all across this area. And there are a few banners at the gates with a crest on it. And it is a white field with a golden shaft of wheat and a pair of black antlers. And Goose will turn around and say to you guys, well, welcome to Bryn Shander. And I think that's a good place to go on break.
Excellent. We did it. We made it to Bryn Shander. Hooray! Right now, we are going to be going into our break, so we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! Alrighty, we are back! Hello, everybody! We have returned from our break. We are nearing the gates of Bryn Shander. At least that's what I remember happening. Wings, take us away. You're muted.
I'm really good at this, you guys. Very professional. As you approach the gates of Bryn Shander, you will recognize Torga's group there. They seem to be setting up outside of the gates. They are putting up all of their stalls and such. They seem to sell all of their wares straight out of the crates, but they set up these special, like, they put up tarps above them to keep the snow off of their goods. And as you're walking by, you can see there's a suspicious, like, suspiciously body-shaped sack that one of them is just kind of, like, shoving underneath some other sacks so that nobody looks at it too close. But it's almost certainly a body in there. You will pass by those guys and find that there's actually a pretty long line that has formed outside of the gate. And Goose kind of like stands there for a second and just sort of like looks around like, what the fuck is this shit? And he like looks up, like, you know, trying to stand on his toes to look over the line. And he's all like, there's not a line here usually. What the heck is going on? He's like, here, hold my spot. And he just kind of like walks up, starts heading up to the front.
Right.
I think that guy was playing the lottery.
He heads up to the front. You can hear him kind of loudly arguing with the guys over the snow. And the gist that you can get is that it seems that there are a couple of bruisers that are blocking the gate, and they are trying to get people to sign up for the lottery. Their argument is that you shouldn't be in town if you aren't going to like contribute, et cetera, et cetera. And Gustav is hearing none of it. He's all like, we're not citizens of Bryn Shander. Like, we shouldn't have to sign up for your lottery. We do our own sacrifices in our own towns. He like points over at Kuori and Lydia. He's all like, hey, Kuori, Lydia, get over here. Explain to these guys.
Kuori's like already like on her way.
Hart is guarding somebody told him to stay behind. Yeah, it wasn't asked for. This is my duty.
Where are you from, Lonelywood? He points at Kuori.
Duh.
What do you guys sacrifice out there?
Is it 1 second? Food.
Yeah, exactly. So they're out there handling their own business. They'll put out a knucklehead trout or whatever, and then Oral can be appeased. He points over at Lydia. He's like, what do you guys sacrifice out in Tourmaline?
That would be warmth.
Oh, look at these poor guys. They put out their fires once a month. People are probably dying of cold out there.
Would I know, it's not mandatory to enter the lottery if you're not a citizen, correct?
You are. That is 100% true. These guys are
Okay.
just being. They're just being douchebags.
What do they look like?
There's a couple of. Now, see, that's the thing about Icewind Dale is that everybody's all in furs and such, so that
Like
when you
face
look at,
wise, at least.
yeah, like one guy has like a really strong brow ridge, and he always kind of looks like he's confused. And the other guy has kind of like a little bit more of a mutton chop jutting chin sort of situation.
Okay. Do they look human, tiefling, no mish?
They're both human, but like you get the idea that they're probably not the greatest. Like
Yeah.
these guys are on the rougher side of the tracks. They've done crimes probably.
I'll
You
put
reckon?
yeah, I'll put Lydia down beside Goose and go up to the two of them. You have no right to ask these people to enter your lottery.
That's right. You listen to her. He just kind of like points up at Kuori. It's a lot easier to argue with somebody when there's somebody as beefy as her on your side. And they kind of like look down at him and they're like, "Oh yeah, well what about you, Goose? You're in Bryn Shander more than anybody else." And he's like, "I'm from Waterdeep."
He's from Waterdeep.
Listen to her.
Now, both of you get lost.
Give me an intimidation check.
Do I get an advantage because I'm tall?
Just
Because
this
I'm 8
once.
feet tall? Oh, cool!
Just this once, because
Yeah, Lydia's there for comparison, so you look even taller than normal.
You're getting assistance both from Goose and from Lydia.
Okay.
Because he's hyping you up.
Yeah, and Lydia tries to put on her toughest face, and she goes, "Yeah."
I always hate that intimidation is based on charisma. But I get a +0, but I rolled a 17.
That's really good. These two guys.
I just walk up real close to them and look down.
Yeah, you do that. And meanwhile, Goose turns around, looks at the crowd, and says, "These gates are going to close any minute now. You guys want to wait in this line any longer?" And everybody's all like, no, we don't want to wait in this line. No. It's all like, so like they all start shouting down those guys, and you're looking tough, and they all just kind of like, and then they slink off with their clipboards.
Yeah, that's right. Take your clipboards.
Yeah, that's right. I can show you where you can put those clipboards.
Yeah, and have a nice day.
No, Lydia, we don't tell them have a nice day.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my God.
Shh. It's okay. I intimidated them. It's fine, Sadie.
There's like a small cheer from the line, and they all start filing past you, and you get a couple of like claps on the shoulders and stuff like that. And as that is happening, you can see back over with Torga's group, Sefik is he's staring with those bright eyes, and he seems to have watched this whole thing with great interest.
Great interest.
She just gives him like a look as she walks back to where Hart is.
Yeah, Hart has not moved from even when everybody else started like marching forward. He was like, what? Nope, I was told to stay right here and guard this spot.
Are you coming?
Well, the line.
It moves.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go, little one.
He just sort of like hops up real quick. It's almost like a skip run, but.
Bless. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that so many times. I should mute myself.
So, what was causing? Well, why was everybody stuck here?
Assholes.
Really? Like,
There
did they
were
eat
two
something bad?
There were 2 men trying to ask people to sign up for the lottery forcibly.
Oh, that's really mean though. Like, people will die if they sign up for the lottery. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the more people that they get to sign up, the more chances that it's not them or one of their loved ones that dies. So I do understand, but everything has to be fair. I think they were just trying to protect themselves. It was a little cowardly, but I get it.
Okay. Well, now what do we do now?
We'll go into Bryn Shander. We'll see if Luke is there.
Well, as I said, he does like taverns. So maybe we can find a tavern that we can stay at for the night, and maybe someone there will have some information. Hopefully. If not, it'll be warm.
I could go for a drink.
Gus gets finished thumbing his nose at those guys and comes back. He's like, all right. Well, if a tavern's what you're looking for, you might want to head on up to the North Look. It's pretty close to the North Gate. It'll give you a pretty good look at what the rest of the town looks like trying to get up there. You'll go past Black Iron Blades. They can outfit you with any adventuring gear you might need.
We should probably get you some warmer clothes, Hart. Although Kuori's coat does look lovely on you, it's a little big.
He just kind of like, I don't. Do I have currency?
I am fully
so.
willing to listen. Coming from the last game that you just got out of, you played Now Daza for a few levels. I think that you'd be okay with not having any gold just now.
Do you think they'd give it to me if I asked?
You have to pay for it.
Maybe
Like
here, I can help. Maybe I'll give you some items to trade. And she brings out the bowls that are so nicely carved that they used to have their stew in each morning. It's not much, but it might be enough to at least get you outfitted a little bit.
Lydia is fine. I'll pay for it.
Oh, no, Kuori, you don't have to do that. I'm sure that people will trade. These are very lovely carved bowls.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll figure it out. You really do need something, and Kuori should have her jacket back.
I'm alright for now. I have my scarf, and she just points out the blue scarf that she's been wearing.
It's like small on her, so it like doesn't even like cover like.
No, it does not cover much.
Aw, baby. Standing just inside the southwest gate, immediately to your left, you can see that there are stables. And those stables do not contain horses. You hear sort of like a loud trilling call. If anyone's familiar with what a peacock sounds like the kind of "ara, ara," except imagine it's coming out of the beak of a dinosaur. It's just kind of like trilling and like rumbling, and as you it probably makes Hart jump a little bit, and you turn around to see these enormous two-legged birds. I guess birds only have two legs to begin with. These two enormous two-legged critters, which turn out to be birds, with these long curving beaks. These seem to be a Arctic variation of an axe beak.
That's cool.
And Goose can explain to you that they're used for getting around in the snow, as well as dog sleds. And he's like, they cost you a pretty penny though, but there's no better way to get around.
Maybe that's something we can look into if my brother's not here. But let's hope that he is.
Do you think your brother would have... Do you think he would have come in on one of these things? Wait, is this stable like right near the entrance to this town?
Yeah. There are several entrances to this town, 3 in fact. There's the southwest gate, the east gate, and the north gate, and you guys just came in through the southwest one.
Gotcha. I think that Hart is... Well, why don't we just ask them?
That is a very good idea.
And he's going to cast Speak with Animals on himself.
Amazing.
Oh,
And go to the axe beaks. Hello there. Except it sounds like that same like peacock response.
Amazing. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. So when you cast Speak with Animals, what is it like from your perspective? Do they like have a voice and personality, or is it more akin to like horse girling?
I think that it would be language with Hart.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't have to be like full sentences, or it could even just be like, you get the gist of it from these guys. But I don't think it's like Hart being like, let me speak to them. They've told me this much. That doesn't seem like his style.
It's like a squeaker
Yeah.
situation. Okay, gotcha. All right, so you approach these burbs, and they've got these really thick white downy plumes, and they'll like kind of like look down at you and fix you with their eye like one at a time. They turn their head this way and that. What are you asking them?
I am asking if they have. Well, first off, he would like to say hello, and that he hopes they are doing well, even though it's cold. Hopefully, you are getting enough berries. We are looking for one of these small things that looks like this one, but is not this one. Have you seen one of them?
That's interesting. Okay, roll me a D100. I'm calling this a luck roll.
57.
All right. That's not bad. They have seen a lot of little ones, but most humanoids kind of look the same to them.
I understand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they've seen they've seen a lot of folks that small. Probably don't have the Axbeaks they probably are intelligent enough to like pick out what like faces and stuff. Birds are interestingly more intelligent than we give them credit for a lot of the times. But yeah, nobody that looks like Lydia from their perspective.
They have -4 intelligence, according to D&D.
That's not bad for birds, though.
Yeah, it's not bad for birds.
No, they have a 2 intelligence.
That's pretty bad for
They
birds.
they are a little bird brained.
Four is the highest that you can get on a beast without it becoming,
Sentient. All right. Then Hart will just tell them thank you for letting him know. If there is a seed nearby, like, he'll put a seed in front of the ones that he talked to, and then he'll use Druidcraft to turn it into a flower for them to munch on.
Aw, lovely.
And then he'll turn back around. Just, well, they said that they've seen a lot of little folk, but nobody matching your description other than you.
Well, I think we should maybe head to the tavern and see what we can find out. It is, after all, a really big city. There's lots of places that he could be, but I think right now we just need to try and get as much information as we can. And also, we should probably find a place to stay for the night before they all fill up.
Goose will kind of rub his face a little bit and say, well, I'm just going to head on back to where I live. I'll meet you later in the tavern, okay? Like I said, I promised I would ask around about your brother, and Goose always makes good on a promise.
I really appreciate it. And, just take a gander, see if you see him anywhere.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I see what you did there. You little so-and-so. Ah, well.
See you later, Goose.
Pats Lydia.
You see him kind of, he walks off down the street, and now that you're in more like stable ground, he did kind of have like a little bit of a hobble to him, and you thought that maybe that was just kind of the way that he moved through snow. But he seems to have like, maybe like a bad hip or a bum leg or something as he as he just kind of like do, and off he goes.
Let's go get a drink.
If they are,
Mama's thirsty.
if there is, like as we're going, like people selling winter clothes, I feel like Hart will just pick those up along the way. The only thing that he does want to purchase, that me as a player wants him to have, because I am going to be getting one in the mail, is an Acquisitions Incorporated blanket, which I feel like they would have like a Disney store level of merchandise that you could buy. Like they might not have a franchise in the 10 towns, but you best believe they're selling their merch there.
Of course. Yeah, you you start heading up the main road, and you eventually come to the center of town, where this seems to be the center of commerce. There is also a town hall here, and there is a good number of stores that just kind of line the town square, and like one or two of them are going to have some merch, I believe. And they're kind of like giving each other like evil eyes across the square, like this was supposed to be just for me. It was an exclusive offer. But it seems that somebody had given two people an exclusive offer in this town on buying some Acquisitions Incorporated merch.
Lydia will sort of just like go up with Hart and just say, "Okay, now let me show you how it's done." And she goes up to one of the shopkeepers that's selling these blankets, and she says, "Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. I was very interested in this blanket in particular. How much is it?"
Oofda. Let's see. How much does a blanket cost? Let's have a look-see. I'll go on D&D Beyond and find out.
I was gonna say, if you're doing it with real world price pointing, it would be around 4 silver.
All right, I'm into it.
Oh.
You tell me how much it costs. It's 4 silver.
4 silver? Oh, that's so strange. I mean, that shop right there is selling it for 3.
Well, then why don't you just go and buy it over there, you little brat?
Oh dear. No, I will. I just thought you should know that maybe that's why you have all these blankets here and they're not selling.
Oh, listen here, little miss. I hear this grift about 4 times a day. We both sell it at 3 silver.
Yeah, 3 silver. Exactly.
I mean 4 silver. Oh, you. Oh, you're trying to get my goat here. All right, 3 silver and 5 copper, and that's the last I'll hear of it.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal. And she'll like go into her wallet and hand over
And
3 silver.
Now you've got copper hanging around in your wallet. I hope you're happy.
Oh, I'm very happy. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that little goober.
And she just
I imagine Corey's just like in the corner, like watching this exchange. It's like she makes a wrong move, I'm gonna break her.
This blanket is like large enough that like she grabs it and she like hefts it and hands it to you, and it just kind of like, you know, you have to like put your arms way out to hold on to it.
So Hart, and when she gets back to Hart, she says, "My parents are shopkeepers, and honestly, if you can make them laugh, usually they'll cut down the price a little bit. Also, just, you know, be nice. And if you're nice, then you might get a discount, because not a lot of people are nice to shopkeepers, and you should really make sure you're nice to shopkeepers, because they work really hard for not a lot of money."
Okay.
Be nice, be funny.
I'll just give them longer straws.
Oh dear.
That's being nice, right? You want to make sure they don't get the short one.
Not the deer.
So if you give them the long straw when you meet them, unless you're drawing longer straws. Oh.
Hart, that was just a how to say this in English. Spanish brain kicking in.
Go ahead and say it in Spanish, and we'll just say it's in Goliath.
I don't know how to say this in Spanish either. It's just gone. It's lost. I do know how to say it in Spanish, but it's like it's just this. Oh, it's just a saying. It doesn't actually mean straws.
Okay.
Straws are metaphorical.
Unless it's an actual physical straw.
And like you can tell the brain is trying so hard to connect those dots.
What are we
Like
gonna
cut-
do with him?
Cut to the inside of Hart's head, and there's just a little like a squirrel on a
It's like
on
a hamster and a
wheel.
hamster wheel.
Yeah. Oh, it's specifically a squirrel.
Okay, it's specifically a
The
squirrel.
squirrel trips and it just makes a few loops.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah, so I think Hart eventually gets it. Just, okay.
Okay.
Just be nice to them.
Okay.
Make them laugh and they will
Sometimes they'll give you
Sometimes-
a discount.
sometimes count wrong.
But you should just be nice anyways. I mean, it doesn't
yeah.
take much energy to be nice. You seem very nice. I know that's not going to be a problem.
Oh, thank you.
I sometimes have to teach Corey to be nice because sometimes she's a bit mean, but she doesn't mean it. She's just kind of scary to people who don't know her.
Uh-huh.
Cut to Corey just looking like standing there with a this bitch face, like resting bitch face.
Just be nice to everybody.
Not everybody.
Right. Sometimes we don't tell people to have a nice day.
Exactly.
Okay.
But anyways, we should get to the tavern because Goose is going to meet us there. I think he said the North Look. That should be just a little bit further north from here.
While you guys are having this conversation, I want to say, which of you has the highest passive perception?
Let's take a little gander.
15.
Actually, I have notes for this. I could find out myself.
15.
15?
13.
13. Oh yeah, it's Hart. It's Hart with the 15, and the other two of you have 13 as well.
Yeah.
Whilst Lydia is explaining to you, Hart, the nuances of social interaction, like your eyes kind of drift off of her and look behind her as you are hardwired to recognize when forward-facing eyes are fixed on you. And you know,
I
as
don't like how you said that.
It's true.
it's true. And indeed, forward-facing eyes are indeed fixed upon you. It is a half-elf, kind of standing across the way, and she like looks at you, looks down at her notes, and kind of like flips through. She has like a pen and a notebook, and she's also like loaded down with a bunch of bags with scrolls and papers sticking out of them. And she's got a pair of rectangular, I'll say half moon glasses, bridged on her nose, and she kind of like sticks, pushes those up, and she like situates herself and then starts walking towards you guys.
Hart freezes. Just like
Deer in the headlights.
yeah, pretty much like eyes locked on this figure. Just
She walks up and she says, well met. And like she puts out a hand for Hart, and like he just like continues to stare at her, and she looks at him and then like looks at Lydia and says, well met.
Well met.
You lot seem like you're looking for work. Or trouble, otherwise you wouldn't be standing around in this cold.
We're just talking.
Right, but you have, a particular look about you? Like, some adventurers?
Friendly?
Yes, exactly that.
Cuts to Corey's face.
tough and friendly, she says, pointing to Kuori and Lydia. Um, my name is Danica Greysteel. I'm a scholar around here. I came up here to study the Chewinga.
The Chewanga?
Oh, you've never heard of them. Well, you see, there's an island far south of here where these nature spirits dwell in the jungles of Chult. Now, you see, some people came up here and immigrated to Icewind Dale, and when they did, the Chewinga came with them. They are these little, just little guys. They like to be around people, and they seem to have an effect on the environment around them. Now, you might have noticed, and she just kind of like gestures to everything. We're having something of a problem here in Icewind Dale. The fact that winter has been here for over 2 years now. She just kind of looks between. She looks between the two of you, and then her gaze remains on Hart for a little bit. Has he remained frozen there?
I feel like when she mentions the Chewingas, Hart's like, oh, the forest friends. Oh, and like...
he chills out.
Yeah, he chills out now that this newcomer has mentioned something that he is at least partially familiar with, I would feel. And like he listens in and then says, we're from Waterdeep.
What a coincidence. That's where I'm from, too. Did you happen to go to school there?
What's a school?
We are not from Waterdeep.
Yeah, we're not.
He
We're
could
from
be
here.
from Waterdeep, I don't know.
Regardless, are you folks, do you happen to be looking for some work? I'll pay.
It's passable.
Well, how much? What type of work? Where would we have to go? Have you seen a rock gnome that looks like me but is boy?
It's a lot going on.
But is boy.
I wish I remembered all of those questions so I could answer them in order.
How much? What type of work? Where would we have to go?
Is
Have
boy.
you seen boy?
25 gold, wherever the Chewinga are. Finding Chewinga, and I don't think so.
Okay. I don't know where the Chewinga are.
Oh, well, that's where the lantern comes in. And she pulls out a wrought iron lantern, and it has a dull glow from within it. And she says, this will light up the more that, the closer you get to the Chewinga. You're going to be traveling around, right? You're not planning on staying in Bryn Shander?
No.
I mean, potentially, eventually I'll have to go back home. But, okay, so you want us to take this lantern. I just want to make sure I understand correctly. You want us to take this lantern and carry it with us. And when it gets really bright, that means that the Chewinga are nearby. And then you want us to tell you where that was.
It would be much better if you could convince a Chewinga to come with you and come visit me so that I can study them. They're usually very friendly.
No, they are.
You've heard of them, Hart?
Well, yeah. Everybody knows the forest friends from the Glen.
I don't
So-
know this Glen you speak of.
You know where they are then?
I know where a few of them might be, I think.
A Chewinga!
I hear one right now.
There it goes!
There it goes! Well, we could possibly do this job. We'll be walking around anyway.
My headphones just came unplugged. Did anybody address me?
No.
Cool.
We
Carry on.
We could possibly do this job for you. Would you be paying us now or when we retrieve a chewinga.
Oh, when you come back for sure. But you can take the lantern with you now.
Okay. See, I have a slight problem with that. See, we're doing the work for you. And when we get back with the chewinga, after having done all that hard work, you may just not be there anymore. And I think that it's very important to at least pay your freelancers at least partially up front. So how about we take 13 gold now and get 12 gold when we get back with the chewinga?
Those are awfully odd numbers.
Well, you said 25, and, nobody wants to break down a gold into, multiple pieces.
I guess there are 3 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's call it 30 gold, and then I'll give you 10 now. And then when you come back with the chewinga, you can get the remaining 20. Plus, you get to keep the lantern.
This seems serviceable. Thank you.
Imagine in this moment, it's Kuori looking down at Lydia like, yeah?
Hart will
Might as well.
Hart will take the lantern if no one else will.
Yeah. Put it on your antlers.
Yeah, how big is the lantern? As you said, it's wrought iron, so it's quite large, I presume.
Well, it's wrought iron, but it's actually fairly small when it comes down to it. It's like on a handle, and it is actually very ornately decorated, and it's mostly round, and it has like a little window that the light is supposed to peer out of. And it also has like a little tent kind of shape on the top of it to keep rain and snow out of the center of it, but like also provides some ventilation. But the lantern itself seems to be magical. I'd say that it's entirely possible that you could light it yourself and use it as an actual lantern. But I'll say that the light will change colors whenever a chewinga is nearby. A very soft blue. I guess not a soft blue, I'll make it a vibrant blue. Because it's magic.
Magic! I've added the chewinga lantern to my inventory.
It is a lantern of tracking, parentheses, elementals.
Okay.
So it's an actual thing that you can add.
Wow.
Well, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and we will be in touch. It's Danica, right?
Yes. Danica Greyhawk. Greysteel. Sorry. I was practicing earlier and I kept on saying the wrong name.
That's okay. I do that often too. So my name is Lydia. And if you see me, but boy, can you just maybe tell him that his sister is looking for him?
Certainly. It was Lydia
Malion.
Okay, sure, absolutely. I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks. Hopefully we find him, and then we'll find the chewingas, and then we'll come back and you'll pay us, and it'll be great.
Yeah, that's how it works. I'll be in the tavern most nights if you're looking for me. The North Look?
That's where we're going right now, actually.
Oh, it comes highly recommended, so.
We should get going before it fills up.
You're right. Have a good day, Danica.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Big thumbs up from Lydia at Hart. Good job.
Amazing.
Yes, have a good day.
Kuori, so proud of you.
Nah. She was alright.
I'm gonna have to remember I promised you 20 gold. And she did, in fact, pay you that 10 gold up front.
Who
Alright.
wants to be the group hordes person?
Probably.
I can't.
I would say that would probably be
The
Lydia.
shopkeeper, yeah.
I feel like
Shopkeeper's daughter,
Yeah.
I feel like Lydia's the most economically literate.
I may be baby, but I understand money.
I'm only baby in size.
Money, please.
I guess she'll walk and talk as they're heading to the north. Look,
Yes, the north.
um, Hart, where is this glen you keep talking of?
Uh, all right. So when the blizzard came, I may have gotten a little lost, so I don't know rightfully what way it is. I don't know if
Was
it's a couple days away. I don't know if it's like a month away. I was out there for a while. And then I met you, and then you both have been so kind. Have good days.
oh
Spasiba.
well, maybe we can ask around the tavern to see if anyone has seen my brother. Which at this point it seems like the trail has gone, forgive the phrase, but cold. Um, and
Oh.
and then we can also ask about the chewingas, maybe.
I
Um,
think we just need to wait till this lights up.
that's true. I
Hart,
guess we can just do that on the side. It doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah. What's important is your brother.
Yes, very much so. We very much need to find him. It is of
We will
grave
find your
importance.
brother. We'll, ugh, getting sleepy time. We'll find your brother.
Okay.
Hart, are you from this plane of existence?
I don't understand the question.
Where you were from, what did it look like?
Mountains, and it started snowing a lot in the last few years, but before that it was like there were really nice trees, and then there was a river. It wasn't too like fierce of a river, so you could just like play in it and stuff when the weather got warm. And it's some snow over the last couple years for sure.
DM, would I know anything of the place called the Glen?
Uh, are you capable of casting any spells?
Not yet.
Okay. And like no spell-like abilities so far.
Spell like abilities. No, because I haven't picked because we're level 1, I haven't picked like but I am proficient in Arcana and I have a +5.
Then I would say no.
God damn it. I tried. Duh.
Would I, given that I have spell and spell-like abilities?
What are your spell-like abilities?
Well, I have the ability to cast spells.
Anything on the druid list.
Oh.
Things like Goodberry, speak with animals,
Plant
thorn
like
whip.
yeah, any plant like spells.
If you were an order of nature or oath,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
nature
think that I
cleric.
have any
Right. Okay.
as a Twilight cleric.
Then the answer is no.
Okay.
Do you like
Or druidic? Do either of you know druidic?
No, because we're not druids.
Okay, well then you don't know what the glen is.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get snappy.
That's fine.
Uh,
My DMing style is very much yell at the players out of character, so it's fun to get it back every now and then.
okay. Good. This is just how I am.
But
I was gonna say something I forgot because I was yelling at you.
if we're just looking for those chewingas, I mean, really, we should be
Gonna need to
able.
fix this problem. All right.
We should be able
Testing
to
1, 2.
find
Can I
them.
hear you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay, I keep on unplugging my headphones. That's unfortunate. What was the question?
I was gonna say, if it's just Chewingas that we're looking for, like, I feel like that won't be too difficult. You just gotta know where to look. Just be friendly and tell them to have a nice day. Make them laugh.
Hey, I'm good at that.
You'll be fine then.
I'll leave that to the two of you then.
They like those who are pure of heart. So as long as you know what's inside your ticker, I'm sure they'll like you just fine.
I'll leave that to the two of you then.
Oh, Kuori, you're pure of heart most of the time.
Lydia, there's nothing pure about me. She says as she walks away.
You got a bad.
Other than my pure beef.
Oh!
Ugh.
All right, you guys are headed towards the tavern, and you find
Flex, but okay.
literally flexing. You guys are headed to the North Look Tavern, and when you arrive, most of the buildings in this town seem to be made out of wood. They're a little bit ramshackle. When you live in a cold place, the buildings tend to take on a lot of like water and ice damage just from handling all of the snow. And the North Look is no stranger to this. It does, however, have these iron wrought glass windows. It's just sort of cross-hatched with iron. And for good reason, it seems, as you watch a chair just kind of break against the window, and that glass holds firm. It seems like this is a pretty rough tavern, but in a fun way, like not in a like you're gonna get stabbed if you turn the wrong direction sort of way. It's just a bunch of like burly ice fishers and adventurers, and like they like to
My
rough
type
things.
of place, yes.
Exactly. When you walk in, you look around, and it's fairly warm. There's a gigantic fire pit in the middle of the room, with like meat being turned on spits, and open cauldron of stew, which seems to be the meal of the day. I'm gonna say it's knucklehead trout stew, as it is every night. In fact, I think there is a sign that says like soup of the day, knucklehead trout stew, and like it's kind of a joke because it is always the soup of the day. Shush.
There's a tabaxi that's very happy about that.
There's a tabaxi who has had a little bit too much. And so as you walk in, it's already a little bit rowdy, but your eye is drawn because like the energy of the room kind of points to it. Just sort of the graphic design and or not graphic, the interior design and the feng shui of the room kind of points up to this large knucklehead trout that is mounted on the wall, and it has a little
Sing.
Yes, it has a you think you're joking. It has
No.
a plaque underneath that says Ol Bitey, and like I said, it's already pretty rough in here, but like as you look up as if on cue, this trout begins to slap its tail against the wall, and everybody starts cheering. This seems to be sort of like a rainforest cafe sort of thing. Everybody's fucking losing their minds because the thunderstorm's going off. But it just sort of starts slapping its tail against the wall, and people grab their drinks and start beating the tables in time with that tail. And it turns its head, opens its mouth, and it begins to sing. There's a place I like to go. Boom, 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 boom. Farther up the rivers flow. Boom, 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 boom. Where it is, I do not know. Boom, 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 boom. Must be under all that snow. Boom, yay! And everybody cheers. And you can see that behind the counter, the tavern keeper is absolutely nonplussed. Everybody in the tavern seems to love this, but he hears this about 20 times a day, and he's done with it.
Can I see this possibly the source of where that chair was? I was gonna say table. Chair was thrown.
Sure. I'll say that there are a few tough-looking, adventurous-looking sorts that are kind of like loaded down with bear pelts and stuff. And they are playing a rowdy game of Three Dragon Ante that has gotten physical.
It's funny because I think Lydia would know this. Kuori is the type, like, she doesn't mind the rowdiness, but she much prefers to, like, actually be in a quiet place reading books.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like...
Lydia is very much like just enjoying the festivities, even though it's a little bit rowdy. She's kind of ignoring the rowdy part and is just matching the energy of the room in the sort of happy way and is doing a little dance.
Oh, Hart's having a bad time in this place, but he's being real quiet about it.
Yeah.
There's meat being grilled. He's a vegetarian. Like, the smell of cooked meat is like, no, God. It's sweet, and he doesn't know why. All of this rowdiness, everyone's just, he feels is looking at their way, and they're getting ready to roughhouse, so he's just, like, holding on to his quarterstaff and, like, tucking himself behind Kuori a little bit.
As Lydia's dancing, she kind of looks around and turns and sees Hart kind of huddled. Hart, are you okay? This is a fun place. I know it seems a bit much, but are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm having a good day.
He's muffled by my coat.
Okay, well, I just want you to know that if it ever becomes too much for you, they take the bell that's on your antlers and ring it, and just in case I can't hear you speak. And I'll know that we just need to take a little break and we can go for a walk outside. I know it's very overwhelming with lots of people. Even though I like lots of people, I know that not everybody likes lots of people. So just let me know if you get overwhelmed. I'll go for a walk with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Or you will just put, like, a hand, like, on his shoulder and, like, tuck him into her side.
Is this common?
Most of them are speaking common, yes.
No, are most inside buildings like this?
Most taverns.
Taverns.
Okay. I will keep
There
that
are
in
rooms
mind.
upstairs.
Yeah. I'll go get us a room. Do you mind if we share? It'll be cheaper.
Why would I mind?
Right.
I didn't know if you wanted privacy.
I think we can all agree that he does not care about privacy.
Yeah, that's true. You know, as someone who has been in the snow with you and has seen your good berries. Okay, I'll get a room. And Lydia will walk up to the bar and sort of like hop up on a stool and try to speak to the tavern.
You broke, Steven.
This guy is pretty busy, so like you kind of have to be a little bit assertive to get his attention, because there are a lot of people trying to order drinks from him. But he does eventually come around to you, and he's like, "All right, what do you need?"
1 room for the night, please. 2 beds if you've got it, and a cot.
Gotcha. All right, that'll be 5 silver.
All right, here you go. And she hands over 5 silver.
You gonna need some meals too?
Yes, please. I'll have the soup of the day. And she kind of looks back at Kuori and like orders whatever Kuori's usual order is, whether that.
It'll be probably the soup and the meat and some ale.
She also orders herself a hot cocoa, and she just sort of looks back at Hart and says, "What do you want to eat?"
I have berries. It's okay. I'm good.
Do you want something to drink?
Water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and a water for my dear friend.
All
Love
right.
you.
No, I know.
That'll be 6 silver for the food then.
So 6 silver total. And she slides over 6 silver.
All right, takes that. And you are given heaping, well, I want to say let's call it knucklehead chowder. I kind of like the sound of that better. So you get yourself a nice big steaming bowl of knucklehead chowder. The bowl is wider than your head. And Kuori gets a nice big flank of something.
It's probably like a darker God, I know nothing about alcohol, but it's like a
Stout.
darker ale. Like yeah, it's more malty. It's a brunette.
Delicious.
Delicious.
All right. So you are provided with some good food. You are familiar with knucklehead trout. These fish are next to scrimshaw. It is one of the primary exports for Icewind Dale. If you scrimshaw is basically just fish bones, and they're called knucklehead trouts because they have like very heavy bones that you can carve into and such. So like these fish are really like the backbone of their economy.
Okay. She'll look around. Other than the people that were with the bear pelts. And we're playing Dragon or 3 Dragon Ante.
Yeah.
What kind of other people are around?
There are some rough and tumble looking, well, I mean, I say rough and tumble, they're all rough and tumble. There are some sketchier looking fellas that kind of keep to themselves off in the corner. And there are also probably a few, I'd say townspeople. When you look at the general population of Bryn Shander, you're going to see mostly fishermen. You're going to see traders. You're going to see a few adventurers. Probably the entire population of adventurers are in this tavern right now. There's not much else to be doing in Bryn Shander. Just like the real Midwest, all there is to do is drink. But yes, there are also some sketchier looking types there. And the 5th subcategory, I'd say, are the nerds. There are scholars and spellcasters here as well. But they are in very few numbers. You see them sparsely here. So there's maybe 1 or 2.
Okay.
I will say there is there is a little fella in very fuzzy, a very fuzzy coat, and it has 2 little balls sticking up on his head, and from a distance he just looks like a teddy bear, but it appears to be a gnome or a halfling of some sort, and he also has a big old bowl of chowder. He's just like, chowder.
Okay, I think that we should divide and conquer. I'm gonna go talk to those guys. And she points to the rowdiest looking. Whoever looks like the most hardened, potentially
scars, eye patches,
like
tattoos.
just beef-caked out looking guys.
One of them's got a hook for a hand.
Yeah, a peg leg. You know, I'm gonna go talk to those guys, and no,
No.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No.
Kuori, I got this.
No.
Trust me.
No.
I need you to talk to the book people, and
No.
Hart. She just keeps ignoring Kuori saying no. Hart, do you see that cute little guy over there with the ears?
Yes.
Do you think you can go see if he's having a nice day and if he's seen my brother?
I could do that.
Okay. And then she just turns and walks up to like the biggest guys and slams down 2 silver pieces and says, "Next round's on me, boys." And just sits down next to them.
They all turn and look at you, and like the conversation goes completely quiet. And there is a moment of like really, like I think the entire tavern goes quiet for a second.
There's a record scratch.
Yeah. And they all just sort of stare at you, and you can hear like metal clicking against each other, like maybe a knife's being sharpened, and like a guy in the back sort of coughs.
I would like to think, I will insert this here, that while she's going up to Kuori's like back at the bar, but she's looking straight at them, like behind her, like try me.
Yeah. It's so like there's that moment of silence, and then one guy says, "Well, then let's see that round. Hey!" And then they just welcome her in.
Beautiful. So I will just be like, well, hi, I'm Lydia, and I was just wondering if you guys have seen my brother. I'm looking for him. He looks like me, but he's my brother. His name is Lucas. And I heard that he was in town, so I figured that maybe you knew him.
The guy that you're talking to in particular, he's got an eye patch. He appears to be a half-orc, and he's got one tooth sticking out that's got some like scrimshaw carving on it. And he goes like, what'd you say that guy's name was?
Well, he looks like me. His name is Lucas.
Lucas, yeah, I think I remember a guy who looked kind of like you. He cheated at 3 Dragon Ante, something fierce. We tried to throw him out the window, but like that thing, it's made of good stuff. That'll never break.
And you just see Lydia just with a smile on her face. She just kind of like motions for him to like lean down because she's still quite low on the stool.
Yeah, he's a fairly big guy, so he just like gets real low next to you. You're expecting like some serious halitosis, but he actually has a very nice minty fresh breath.
So Lydia leans in with a nice big smile, and she just says, "When was the last time you saw my brother?
Oh, Jesus.
Where did he go? And you better answer truthfully." And you see purple flames kind of lick her eyes as her irises turn purple and her hands start to glow slightly. And then she blinks and she's smiling.
Oh God! Can I see an intimidation check?
You certainly can.
Please succeed at this.
Oh boy. Here's hoping. Okay.
You got this.
Ashley Johnson, don't fail me now. So that is a 16 total.
16's actually pretty good. He, like, you could see his blood run cold for just sort of a second, and then he just kind of laughs nervously. He's all like, whoa, okay. Wasn't expecting that.
Have you ever heard the phrase "scared but horny"?
No, we don't really know where he went. He got thrown out eventually for cheating. So, yeah, like, we didn't pay much attention to where he went after that.
And when was so when was this?
Oh, about a 10-day ago.
All right. So, just one last thing before I go. If you see him again and you touch him in any way, shape, or form, I'll be back. And she just gets up and walks away.
He just gives you a look, and then he looks back at his guys, and they're all like equally sort of like surprised, but like also a little bit bemused by such a scary disposition coming out of such a sweet little gnome. All right, let's go and handle somebody else. What do we want to see? Who wants to go next?
I can ask the scholarly types. You said there was like maybe one or two.
You know, I'll say that the scholarly types are probably actually hanging out with the teddy bear gnome.
Kuori will look to Hart. Let's go. You talk to the teddy bear gnome.
Lydia's just staying at the bar, but she's like angled herself where she can see the adventurers that she was just talking to. And she's eating her chowder and smiling. But every time that half orc looks over at her, she just like, her face goes.
Oh, God. He minds his business. Chowder. I'm going to say this orc's name is Scartooth.
Yes, Scartooth.
I'm sensing, I think I'm sensing like some vibes.
The two of you are just going to try and set each other up with each
We're great
NPC
wing
that
people.
shows.
We're great wing people.
Amazing. All right. So Kuori and Hart. You see the scholarly types. They're kind of shunted off into a corner. There is a itty bitty little book nook, I want to say, that's in this tavern that like has some very basic information sort of stuff that like lots and lots of stuff on fish and trout and such. But there's also a few like maps and things of the surrounding area. There's like one book called Tales of the Ragged Glacier. And like it's all stuff that's really mostly about Icewind Dale, with maybe a few very basic arcane novels. And there is one sort of like noodly human wizard type fella. He's wearing like some yellow robes underneath his fur coat. And he's just kind of looking down his nose at a book and like flipping through it as though he's read the whole thing before, and he's just kind of like skimming it because he's bored. And the little gnome fella is trying to like get at his drink without spilling it all over himself. And like it's very much Christmas Vacation, I can't put down my arms kind of situation where the coat is too big for him. So that's just kind of making it harder. And the other guys are like, Copper, you can take off the jacket. And he's like, no, I can't.
You broke Satan.
Hello. I hope your day has been finding you well.
Hello. This little guy turns around. His arms are still kind of out, and he just raises them a little bit. He's like, Copper Knopperlocker, at your service.
Copper Knopperlocker, it's nice to meet you. My name is Hart.
Close enough, but I get that a lot.
Hello.
I was told to come over and ask if you have possibly seen somebody that we're looking for. It's a familiar search. Apparently, my friend's brother ran away, and we are trying to find him again. So if you could offer any assistance, that would be incredibly helpful.
Okay, what does he look like?
He looks
No.
like my friend over there. And Hart like points with his quarterstaff, like no subtlety in that at all.
Yeah, somebody walks by and knocks his head on it.
Oh, sorry.
Kuori pushes the quarterstaff back.
Copper Knobberknocker has never heard of this guy. He's never
Copper
seen him.
knocker knobber?
Copper knobber knocker.
Knocker.
Copper knobber knocker.
You can just call me Copper if that helps.
Of the Brooklyn Knobber
No.
Copper.
And you would know this as a gnome. Sometimes gnomes will take on nicknames, and Knobberknocker it sounds like a nickname type thing that a gnome might have.
I don't
Oh,
want
it
to know why
sounds
you
like
have that
something.
nickname. What about you? Have you seen a male rock gnome around here? She'll look to the other guy.
He's like he's just kind of like putting his head in his hands. He's all like, no, I haven't. And he's giving you a vibe that you have seen before, where it's like, I don't want any meatheads trying to distract me from my studies. Like they don't even know their evocation from their divination. He's being pretty dismissive of you.
What are you studying?
I don't think you'd really get it, honestly.
Try
And
me.
he rattles off some like fantasy mumbo jumbo that I probably could do if it was more in my brain. I don't know, Steven, can you do a fantasy mumbo jumbo?
Fantasy mumbo jumbo.
Some jargon for me, please.
Well, if you truly must know, I'm working out the true definition between the difference of divination magics, augury, and scrying. Now, what if you could combine the two, right? Like, there's augury in the example for wheel, woe. I'm sure that you already know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't, there's wheel, woe, and then there's the third option that never really pans out anyways, and then there's scrying, seeing something off in the distance. So what if you could then, like, merge them together to gaze at something from afar and judge whether or not it would be worth your time, like what you surely have failed to do when attempting to approach me.
Does Kuori just stare him the entire time?
Yeah, can I make a roll to see if she understands? Or
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
would be
give-
intelligence or arcana?
Give me an arcana, yeah.
21.
Okay. You have some insights into that. You are able to kind of meet him at the same level, and explain to him that divination is really more of an art than it is a science. And the fact that people keep on trying to find a way to quantify fate really shows the hubris in most scholars.
It shows the hubris in most scholars. She ends.
He kind of like puts his hands up and like, like he concedes, like, okay, I underestimated you and now you've embarrassed me in front of my bear friend.
Yeah, I have.
Wow, she really got you, didn't she, Mustard?
Mustard?
I told you not to call me that.
I guess I didn't really have to embarrass you because you were
Do you know why we call him
well,
Mustard?
No.
Why?
It's because that one time when he got mustard on his robes and we couldn't tell because it was still yellow.
Mustard
You
is
still got-
yellow.
You still got mustard on those robes? He's like, no, I washed them. Obviously, I have prestidigitation. It was there only for a fraction of a second. Yeah, but prestidigitation only lasts an hour. You ever wash those robes?
I guess I really didn't need to try to embarrass you. You're doing fine just yourself.
Touche.
Goodbye, Mustard. Goodbye, Copper. Have a nice day.
Motherfucker's not gonna have an actual name. He's just Mustard now.
Yeah.
Have a good day, Mustard. Have a good day, Copper Knobberknocker.
Oh, well done, Hart. I'm proud of you. All right. Are you guys going to spend the evening in the tavern?
Yeah. Kuori will actually, like, once they get the room, she'll go off to the room, and she'll actually take out her armor. Like, she'll still have her weapons and her shield, but she'll take off the armor. And she has basically underneath this like a tunic, with bare arms. She's mostly. And she'll come back down. She'll still have like probably just like a shield and the ooh.
Don't worry. Nothing happened.
That's her shield knocking over some drink. She doesn't care.
There's definitely no water all over the place, and also on this roll of toilet paper. Everything is fine.
Frankie screams in the background.
Everything's great, I say, wiping my table. We are getting close to time here, so I'm going to fast play a little bit. You guys are able to spend some time carousing with these roughhousers until, and like that fish goes off just at random. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like whenever it feels like it. And if anybody gets too close to it, it actually turns and gives a snap. And at some point, Mustard will get a little bit into his cups and become a lot more talkative, and will let you know that it was enchanted at some point by some wizard passing by, and he's looked into trying to find ways to like remove the enchantment on it, but like everybody likes it so much, he doesn't want to ruin their fun.
More like a curse.
The tavern keeper doesn't like it at all. It annoys him immensely. But yes, you are able to spend some time with a few crazy characters here in this tavern. And oddly enough, Goose never shows up. He promised that he would come by and meet you guys. And basically you wait around until last call and he's never there. So you go to bed, you get some sleep, and the next morning there is a lot of commotion right outside the tavern door. You can look out the window and see that there is a lot of people gathered around a particular spot. And what appears to be a militia of some sort, town guards trying to like establish a perimeter of some sort.
I will make way through the people and just look over the militia.
And Lydia will just kind of be hopped up on Kuori's shoulder as well.
There is a humanoid body in the snow with what appears to be an icicle sticking out of its chest. And when you look to see the person's face, you see no face because the red hat on his head has been pulled down over his face. And Hart, you have a chill run down your spine as it reminds you of the vision that you had the night before. And you are looking down at poor Goose, who appears to have been murdered. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
No!
You really got that Goose! Oh god!
I can't believe Goose turned into Iceman, which is a very cliche or a very niche Top Gun reference, and I apologize for it.
We can talk about that in Nights in the Courtyard. I have no knowledge of Top Gun, so I hope that you will elaborate on this. But with that, I would like to say thank you, Danae, for running this fantastic game. I am so excited, guys. Rime of the Frostmaiden is gonna get nuts. And speaking of this game and it being nuts, Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
My gosh. Hi, everybody. My name's Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me here on Mondays playing as Coriander the Elegant Paladin. And I am also over on G Game Nights every other week playing as Vivian Coyle during our Overarms game. You can also find me on Sunday mornings at the Nexus Adventures that Satan runs. I will only be there for one more week, either this upcoming week or the week after, but come along and see how Fib's story resolves. That's it for me, DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I think it's me now. Hi, I'm Satan. You can find me over at Alyssa Vamp with 2 P's on Twitter, where I post a lot of things that I do. I also do D&D drawings. I do bust of characters. Um, some artist. God, my brain train just left the station. Um, but you can also find me here on Twitch as Vamp, just the 1P, where I do my art live. I do art streams. Last month we did an art stream where I had the Hype Goblin with me and Phoenix 24 Femme with me as well. We're going through her creative process of creating creatures for D&D and other TTRPGs while I drew them. We created a really cool Echo Dragon. It's on my Twitter. You might have to scroll down a little, but it was really, really cool. And she made stats for it. We might put it out. We're thinking of doing that once a month, so y'all can kind of like see us come up with a new character. I also play in this channel, other than now Sundays with these awesome people, and I'm very, very excited about this game. I also play here every Thursday, where I am Vi, the Drow Bard, who definitely, only hypothetically, has killed all her many ex-husbands. Only hypothetically, theoretically. Doesn't matter. You can find me here on Wednesdays once a month playing Lilith, my vampire mobster, in our monthly Monster Noir game. And you can find me, like Danae say, over at the Hype Goblin Sunday mornings, DMing for Nexus Adventures, which is really just a telenovela disguised as D&D game. And last but not least, you can find me Saturdays over at Plot Hunters, my main channel, where me and a few other friends play. I play my buff barbarian babe Alina. She's a half drow. Love her very much. Super great. We are on all POC, all LGBTQIA plus channels. So if you like supporting those spaces, please come find us and just show us some love. We like just have a lot of fun. Anyway, that was a lot of things. I do a lot. Bye.
And Liz, where can we find you? What do you do?
It's me. I am Liz. LizMac on Twitch, LizMacD22 on Twitter. I am the community manager of Clever Plays Studio. We are a video game studio based out of Montreal, Canada. And we have a really cool co-op spy game coming out. The demo's out now on Steam. It's called Operation Tango. Other than that, you can find me on jabroni.tv. Where me and a bunch of my friends all stream and make YouTube content together and support the tabletop community, just like everyone here at Indoor Adventures. And yeah, that's me. And I'm so excited for everything to come in the campaign.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us and you'd like to watch more of our shows, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, with full run-throughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tomb of Annihilation is all done and up there now, as well as our ongoing homebrew campaign. And of course, if you already support us there and on Twitch and you're looking for other ways to support the show, we got our Patreon supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other. So if you have questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on Discord. You can find the link to that below. Ask those questions and we will do our best to respond in kind. So with that, I would like to say once again, thank you, Danae, for running this wonderful game. Thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful first session. And thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!